How you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. I know it's kind of been a while since I came on here and talked, and probably haven't uploaded in a while, but it's good to be back. Um, Recently applied to a couple colleges, and it's kind of uncertain right now. I don't know where I'm gonna go to college still, and everybody around me kind of does know where they're gonna go to college, and it can be kind of difficult because I still don't know if I'm gonna even continue playing soccer or if I'm just gonna, you know, ditch it all and just become a sports psychologist. Or it's like I could do both, and you know, that's what my degree is gonna be. I want to be a sports psychologist because I feel like I can help people who, you know, feel like they can play so much better, but it's just like something else is stopping them. And you know, sports psychology is a beautiful thing because there's no like there's no right way to approach sports. Like other people have different mentalities, and not every mentality that somebody else who's winning has is going to work for you. And I think the key to really helping people out is just first setting that standard that, just because you see all these hard workers online doesn't mean that's going to be the right thing for you. When I used to upload these videos, um, I look back on it just like how I look back on a lot of stuff in my life and kind of how I talk about a lot of stuff in my life. But I mainly look back on, especially my senior year, you know, during these videos, I was in a bad spot, which is why I kind of wanted to start it because, one of all, it just helps me get bad thoughts out of my mind. But secondly, it helps me just to it helps me to see where I stand and just what comes out, like where I can't see on the surface level, what comes out from below that. I might be bottling up because of things in my environment that I can't control, or just unfortunate circumstances that led up to just me getting upset. But I look back and I compare it to now, and I think how much better my life is. I used to train like 2 to 3 times a day in the summer, looking forward to my senior year of high school. And my senior year of high school came around, and I tried to do that same thing. After practice, I would go again, and I think just that amount of training it was obviously motivated for me to, do something my senior year because the other 3 years I haven't really done anything notable, and I felt like if I wanted to go somewhere, that'd be the standard that I had to fulfill. But I was so wrong. I just ended up getting burnt out, and not only that, I just kept getting injured. So it was like not only was I burnt out and not enjoying my sport, but I also couldn't play my sport if I wanted to. And that just led to I mean, it just led to total burnout. And at one point, I was just like, I was ready to quit. And eventually I spoke to God, and I guess God said, if you don't want to take a break, I'll make you take one. And then, you know, first playoff game, I received a concussion. And, my senior year's done, and I'll never get to play, with some of my friends ever again. But I think it was the right move. And I appreciate God for just giving me a new perspective. Because after I got injured, I started to appreciate, the meaning of rest and the importance of it. Sometimes you don't get enough rest, and sometimes you just try and put so much work in to the point where your candle goes out and your spark goes dull, to the point where you're just doing it and you're walking through the motions instead of, actually doing something with a purpose, actually doing something with a drive, and you're training and you're playing, and you're actually not only doing it with a purpose, but you're enjoying it. And I think that's the most important thing that, all athletes should start to do is just, first of all, enjoy it before you bombard yourself with that hard work or that that like motivational mentality, because at the end of the day, if you're not enjoying it, bro, just go do something else. Like, I feel like a lot of times in life, people just do stuff like because it's socially accepted, not because they don't enjoy it or something like that. And I feel like that's why a lot of the time you see a ton of people just unhappy with themselves. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, because like in the moment they can't realize that they're not enjoying it. They're just doing it because they think it's socially accepted, and they don't realize that they're not doing it for themselves anymore. They're just doing it for other people. And I think that's the most important thing that I have to take into my next step of my life. Like, I'm 17, about to be 18. A lot of kids my age are turning professional. There's kids younger than me that are even professional for my MLS team. And, I commend them. I don't envy anybody at all. Like, I used to carry that mentality that if I saw someone ahead of me, like, it's my fault. And in a sense, like, you can say it's my fault that, I'm not in a better place that I am right now, but I believe that, everything happens for a reason, and you are at the place you are right now to learn. You gotta learn from your current circumstances, and you gotta take the lesson that God wants you to learn right now. You gotta apply it to your life and keep applying it, so that way you can tackle each challenge with a new plethora of knowledge. It's not just, get to the highest place and live a beautiful life. Like, even people in the highest places suffer, bro. Like, people are miserable even up there. And every missed opportunity isn't just because it's your fault. Maybe you didn't want to sacrifice that much or anything, or maybe you just didn't end up enjoying it in the first place, anyways. But, in the next stage of my life, I really have to decide whether I want to keep playing soccer, maybe for a low level college and work my way up the ranks, or, just pursue my education at a really high school, and, maybe hope that something rolls around. Either way, whatever I choose, I know it'll be the right decision, because, like, can't go back on it. And I'm getting to that point in life where, like, things are starting to get real. I'm starting to work more than I rest. I'm starting to be out of the house more than I'm in the house. And, it's a blessing that I'm able to get out of the house. But sometimes I think back and look at my childhood, and I'm like, man, I really miss, like, I just miss spending time with people. And I hope everybody who's watching this right now gets that memo down, that, your time isn't forever as a kid. Like, I tell everybody this: the average lifespan's about 75, but in reality, it's like 30. I mean that in the sense that, it would have been way longer in 30 years ago, but in today's age, you got everything fighting for your attention, and your time is the most valuable thing you have in the world. So you gotta learn to manage it. You can easily just spend a whole day scrolling, or just mindlessly playing video games or anything like that with no purpose. And, you do sometimes need those days, because, like, you look back on it and you'll remember it, and you'll be like, oh, that was nice. But at the end of the day, do something that, like, will set you up for your future, to the point where you don't grow old hating your life. I think that's a really important thing. Don't grow old and just hate your life. And don't be like 60 working, and then retire for 5 years, and then go live in a nursing home and then die. Like, I don't want anybody, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, like, at all. The sad truth is, most of us are gonna be like that, because, like, it's getting harder and harder to live nowadays. And not only that, it's just job markets are harder to get into. People are ditching what they love for just what's accepted. And, people all around me are telling me to just, you know, give up. Like, oh, it's over, because you haven't done well the past 4 years, it's over. But I believe in myself fully, like, 100%. I believe that I have something that, you know, not a lot of other people don't. And I know this sounds egotistical or anything, but like I genuinely just 100% believe in myself. And some people would think I'm delusional or anything like that, but I'd rather be delusional and crazy than just be comfortable and normal. I know that sounds redundant and like you hear it all the time, but like once you start to get older, you start to understand that that's the truth. Like there's two options you have as you enter like adulthood. You can either choose to, one, do what your parents want you to do and do what everybody else wants you to do, which is get a normal job and just make a living for 20, 30 years and maybe retire a couple years early. Or you can do something that'll make a legacy. You can do something that will make you proud, and you can do something that will inspire other people to take risks, which is follow your dream. Because at the end of the day, like worst case scenario, your dream doesn't work out. Okay, then I'll go work an office job. I'll go get a normal job. But at the end of the day, like if you don't even try, you don't know how well it's gonna turn out. If you're basing your life off of just a couple bad years, maybe the next couple years are supposed to be good, but then you quit. Like it can always get better, but you have to look for it. You can't just sit in your room and wait for like the perfect conditions to come to you so that you can start chasing your dreams. Don't do that because I did that for 2, 3 years. I always waited for I just strive for perfectionism and I just wasted so much of my time trying to be perfect. I really wish that instead of my youth being so disciplined and being so uptight with other people, I would have just, I would have been more relaxed and I would have just not been afraid to, you know, be myself, be vulnerable, be funny, make mistakes, all that. I never wanted to make mistakes when I was young because I thought one mistake would be the enemy and I had no time. Now that I even have less time than I did before, I still believe in myself even more than I did. And instead of being all perfectionistic and, not willing to take any risks, I'm willing to risk it all. Because at the end of the day, like, if my life doesn't work out, like, I know how to make money now. And, like, I know that I can do it. Like, I want to play pro, even though I'm 17. I want to play, at, like, the highest level possible I can. I want to be looked at like I'm crazy, like I'm saying this, but, I genuinely 100% believe in myself to the point where, other people can say stuff, but, like, I used to say that I don't care about what other people think about me, but, like, I deep down did. Like, now I still kind of do in the sense that, like, okay, if someone important is calling me, like, just a loser, like, just, like, what am I doing with my life? I'll be like, oh, like, why are you saying that, man? Like, the thing you need to, like, comprehend is other people don't need to understand your vision. Like, if you have a vision and, like, you have a goal in life that you've had for so many years and you can't stop thinking about it every day, it's yours. Like, it's already yours. You just have to work for a solid period of time and it'll be yours. Don't obviously just focus on, like, the money, the fame, all of that. But at the end of the day, if you want to be something high, like, maybe a professional, like in my instance, I want to be a professional player, even though, I can't even go to Division 1 right now, like, anything like that. But, you know, I've seen many people do it before, and if they can't do it, or if they can do it, why can't I? That's the mentality I'm going to take into my life, and, I'm going to start embracing failures because, all these failures have taught me so much, and, like, pushing myself to fail more and to just make more mistakes have actually had a positive impact on my life because, I just feel so much more comfortable with myself, you know? I'm not hating myself for, you know, hesitating to do anything anymore. I'm not holding myself back from eating something bad or, you know, doing something bad or just anything connotated negatively. If I do, I don't care. It's like, we ain't gotta be perfect anymore, and more than trying to be perfect, I just want to enjoy my life right now. And I think you guys should too. Just strive to always enjoy your life. Like, no matter what bad situation you're in, just know that, like, it'll get easier if you push yourself every day. Like, the first day you push yourself, it's gonna be hard. And the next day, it's gonna be a little bit easier. And if you keep doing that, if you stack days with adequate rest and, you know, you're enjoying what you're doing, you're enjoying the process, there's no way you can't fail. Because someone who loves, like, running will just keep running. No matter how injured they get, they'll wait. You know, just like athletes. Like, if you love your sport, but you're injured, say you tear your meniscus or whatever, you're gonna do whatever it takes to get back, or you'll give up. That's always the two choices you have in life. And it's always the norm, you know. If you quit something right now, you'll build habits to, you know, later become a quitter. And, you know, sometimes you do have to walk away from things in life. And if it genuinely feels like, okay, maybe it's done, then, like, you're obviously gonna have to learn to respect that decision for yourself. But if you feel like you have something in you and you feel like you have what it takes and you've tested yourself against the best and you still feel like you can make it, try. Because at the end of the day, like, once you're 60, you're not gonna look back and remember, like, just what other people thought of you, or, you know, like, how accepted your decisions you made in life were compared to other people's mentality. No, you're gonna remember, like, just the happier times in life. And how good would that feel when you're sitting in, like, a high-rise penthouse in New York with, like, a bomb outfit on after eating a nice dinner, just looking out at the view from your windows and just thinking, like, I pushed myself hard to get here. Like, I really appreciate and enjoy life. Because at the end of the day, bro, like, strive to enjoy your life now. Because when you're 18, like, you have all the time in the world, but not only that, you have all the good health in the world you need. You know, once you hit, like, 50, 60, you know, hairline recede, skin wrinkly, hair turns gray, you know, can barely move, always tired, something like that. And, like, there's just less enjoyment to be had. So don't think you have to do everything later down the line, and you always have time now. It's been a pleasure, guys, and I hope you guys learned something from this video.